There's never a quiet moment at Ibrox, and once again the spotlight has swung firmly onto Nicolas Raskin. The Belgian midfielder has found himself at the centre of fresh headlines, with a major development sparking debate among fans and piling further intrigue onto an already dramatic season. This latest twist could prove hugely significant for both player and club, and it's one that no Rangers supporter will want to miss. Let's break this down along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Barry Ferguson insists there is a major change at Rangers that will help Russell Martin following the international break. Rangers were last in action on August 31st when they played out a drab 0-0 draw at home to Celtic. Nicolas Raskin was nowhere to be seen. Hamza Igerman had not long left after a drawn-out transfer saga, and Cyril Dessas was on the bench, but about to leave for Greece. Deadline day incomings following on Monday, September 1st, as that rounded off a summer of mass recruitment at Ibrox. Now, Ferguson insists the dust has settled, and he thinks this should benefit Martin with no distractions off field to take away from Rangers doing the business on it. He wrote in a recent article, "There's no point sugarcoating it and nothing to be gained by pretending Rangers and Russell Martin have got the season off to a positive start. And I'm perfectly sure no one inside Ibrox would even attempt to suggest they've been happy with the first few weeks of the campaign. It's been difficult for the new manager, and at times it's looked a bit frenzied. But it's also worth remembering it was always likely to be a turbulent transitional period. When you think about it, with all that's been going on, it was never likely to be as smooth as the club's supporters were hoping for. There were always going to be bumps along the way. That all said, when the season restarts on Saturday at 3 o'clock, there can be no more distractions and no more excuses. The hard yards have been done over the course of the summer. Russell said himself he was desperate for the summer market to shut down because of all the noise it had been creating. Who's staying, who's going? What's this team going to look like if they allow Cyril Dessas and Hamza Igerman to move on? How do they cope with losing two strikers in one go? Well, now we have answers to those questions. The dust has settled and Russell will have been able to take some time during the international break to get his head clear. Scotland's World Cup openers will have given everyone a bit of a pause and a chance to assess the situation. Most important of all, it's also provided everyone with clarity for what's required going forward. So when Hearts come to Ibrox on Saturday, Rangers will get the opportunity to relaunch their whole season, and it's one they simply cannot afford to miss. Now in a huge Raskin twist, Nicolas Raskin has been welcomed back into the Rangers fold after holding crucial talks with manager Russell Martin, according to fresh reports. The Belgian midfielder's absence from the squad for the Old Firm showdown before the international break raised eyebrows across Scottish football. In a fixture that ended in a tense 0-0 draw at Ibrox, Raskin's omission was as notable as the result itself. It followed Martin's earlier admission that he had already excluded the playmaker from the Champions League qualifying first leg victory over Victoria Plzen, believing that the 24-year-old's head had been turned by persistent transfer speculation. But while his club situation was uncertain, Raskin used the international stage to remind everyone of his ability. On duty with Belgium, he struck during their emphatic 6-0 demolition of Kazakhstan in a World Cup 2026 qualifier, underlining both his sharpness and his importance to any side he features in. The goal was a timely reminder of his value at a moment when questions swirled about his future at Ibrox. According to Sun Sport, the midfielder has now returned to training ahead of Rangers' Premiership clash with Hearts on Saturday. However, his reintegration into the squad does not necessarily mean an instant return to the starting 11. Instead, there are suggestions he could be eased back in, perhaps beginning the game on the bench against the Jambos. For Russell Martin, the timing of Raskin's return could prove decisive. The Rangers boss is still searching for his first league victory after a frustrating start in the Premiership. 4 consecutive draws have left his side trailing Celtic by 6 points, a gap that will only increase pressure on him unless results improve quickly. With the season still in its early stages, the next run of fixtures has the potential to shape both Martin's tenure and the team's momentum. The schedule leaves a little room for another error. Following the visit of Hearts, Rangers host Hibs in the quarter-finals of the Premier Sports Cup on September 20th. A tie that could provide a crucial morale boost if they progress. Just days later, European football returns to Ibrox as Belgian outfit Genk arrive to open the Light Blues' Europa League campaign on September 25th. That clash will test Rangers not only against a tough continental opponent, but also against the expectations of a fan base demanding success on multiple fronts. In this context, the return of a player of Raskin's caliber could be pivotal. Whether he reclaims his starting role immediately or is gradually reintroduced, his creativity and energy in midfield may give Martin the spark his side has been lacking. With critical domestic and European battles looming, Rangers can ill afford to leave proven quality unused. Before we get into our next story, if you are enjoying today's video and you would like to see more and stay updated with the latest Rangers news, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. Thank you, let's get back into the video. In other news, Rangers ace Thelo Asgard has lifted the lid on Erling Haaland's classy gesture towards him during Norway's 11-1 rout of Moldova on Tuesday evening. Asgard scored 4 goals in the triumph as Haaland found the back of the net 5 times. Each player was presented with a customary match ball after the game. With Asgard chasing a hat-trick, Norway were handed a penalty on 79 minutes. Haaland had already scored 4 times by that point and classically handed the ball to his teammate. Speaking post-match, Asgard lifted the lid on the gesture. "That just says everything about Haaland's character. I think we all know it already," he said. "He's desperate to score goals, so for him to give me a penalty is amazing. I knew he was a good guy, and I was just very pleased. Haaland just said, 'Do you want it?' So I said, 'Yes, of course.' It's just an amazing moment. My family were there in the stands. It was a proud moment." Rangers and Russell Martin will be hoping Asgard can transform his international form onto the club scene this weekend. The Ibrox side welcome Heart of Midlothian to Glasgow in the Scottish Premiership on Saturday as they look to get back to winning ways following a goalless draw with arch-rival Celtic before the international break. Asgard's memorable night with Norway has only heightened excitement about what he can bring back to Ibrox, with confidence soaring after 4 goals on the international stage and Haaland's generosity highlighting the spirit within the camp. The young forward now has the perfect platform to make his mark in Glasgow. Rangers fans will be eager to see if he can carry that momentum into Saturday's clash with Hearts, where 3 points are essential in the push to reignite their season. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.